Hi, vacation rental owner or manager. I'm Kara, your host of this podcast. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, wall art. Specifically, I'll be sharing my top 4 favorite sources for art that can help you stand out from the competition. Stick around to listen because these sources can save you a lot of headache. Thank you for joining in. Okay, let's dive right in. First up on my list is unsplash.com. If you haven't heard of Unsplash, it's a fantastic resource for free, high-quality photography. The site is filled with thousands of images that are contributed by talented photographers from all over the world. And what I love about Unsplash is that you can find photos that suit any style or theme that you're going for. So whether you're looking for landscapes or vibrant cityscapes or minimal abstracts, maybe photos of animals, florals, there's something for everyone. So you might be wondering, how do I use these photos in my STR? You simply download your favorite images, print them out in high resolution. And remember, bigger is better for these photos. Now you might be wondering, how do I use these photos in my STR? You can simply download your favorite images, print them out in high resolution. I like Walgreens for this, especially their larger poster sized 36 by 24 size, but just don't go bigger than will be high resolution. You want high resolution more than anything. But do remember, bigger art is typically better art. And then you frame that print yourself. And this gives you the flexibility to choose frames that coordinate with the other wood in your space. So it all looks really cohesive and professional. Plus, because unsplashed images are free, this is a really cost-effective way to add that visual interest to your space. Okay, source number 2 is Amazon.com. Of course, Amazon is a great place to find a wide variety of art at great price points, at all different price points. However, I do have a word of caution. Try to avoid unframed canvases. While they might look tempting because of their low cost, unframed canvases often look a bit unfinished or cheap, mass-produced, which is not the vibe we're going for in your STR. That can make you max revenue. Instead, opt for framed pieces or look for prints on Amazon that you can frame yourself. So a pro tip here, I prefer one large piece, usually, instead of multiple smaller pieces of art. Also, don't forget to check out the reviews and customer photos before making a purchase. This is really key. This can give you a good idea of the quality and how the art might look in a real home setting. Okay, source number 3, moving on to something a bit more unique, and that is 3D wall art. I love 3D wall art. It is so cool. So for example, something like a large piece of driftwood hung on the wall, or a slab of stone with fossils embedded into it, or really any other interesting object that can be displayed and mounted onto a wall. I love incorporating 3D items because they add a super cool layer of texture and dimension that flat art can't provide. Plus, these items are often real conversation starters and really fun for guests to have in the space while they are there. So let's talk about some specifics of examples. A beautiful piece of driftwood mounted on the wall can add a rustic or coastal feeling to a room, and a fossil embedded stone can bring an element of natural history and intrigue and look super modern, even though it's extremely old. Another idea is a vintage piece of clothing displayed in a shallow acrylic shadow box. Shadow boxes are made for hanging on the wall. And you can find these types of items at local markets, specialty stores, thrift stores, and sometimes online. Another very cool 3D art idea is a woven tapestry. So beautiful. Definitely avoid the quote tapestries from Amazon that are simply prints on cheap polyester fabric. That is not a good look. But whatever 3D art you choose, it is essential to securely mount them to the wall so that you avoid accidents. Hi, vacation rental owner or manager. I'm just editing this episode and I realized I never actually shared the resource that I use for 3D art. And the short answer is I look for it everywhere. So anything you can hang on the wall that makes a statement, it's big enough, that you love, that can be your 3D art. That is your resource everywhere. Okay, last source, but definitely not least for wall art is Etsy. Etsy is a treasure trove of unique and handmade and vintage items. It's one of my absolute favorite sources. And you can find everything there, from original paintings and prints to sculptures to handmade pieces to things that are custom made. And what is great about Etsy is that you're supporting independent artists and craftsmen. That feels good. It also means you can often find those things that are truly unique, that are not mass produced. So when shopping on Etsy, make sure to use the search filters. They are super useful to narrow down your options. You can filter by price, style, material, and even the location of the seller if you prefer to support your local artists. Don't hesitate to reach out to the sellers also with your questions or if you have requests for custom orders, because many Etsy sellers are happy to create something bespoke just for you, which will add that special touch to your STR. Remember, so much of decorating an STR is making it stand out, and cool art is way up there on the list of how to do that. So there you have it, my top 4 favorite sources for art to elevate your short-term rental. Unsplash.com for free high-quality photography. Amazon.com for a wide variety of 2D art. Just make sure it's framed. Number 3 is the unique 3D items like driftwood or fossil stone slabs. And number 4, Etsy for handmade and vintage treasures. Really unique art doesn't have to be expensive, and it definitely is cool. And so I hope you found these tips helpful and that you're inspired to get creative with your vacation rental art. Please let me know your comments and questions. I will get back to you, and I look forward to talking again next time. Thank you for joining in on Step Up Your STR. Please take just 30 seconds to like, review, and subscribe. It's a simple thing that fuels our mission to empower more STR owners and managers for higher success. I look forward to talking again next time.